Daredevil Season 2 is I'm not gonna do the whole review like that, I'm sorry. Daredevil Season 2 is the second season of the Netflix hit Daredevil, and this time around, the Punisher comes into Hell's Kitchen and starts wreaking havoc all over the place. All at the same time, a ninja army being run by the Hand is also taking its toll on the city. Daredevil must find a way to try and stop both of these parties to achieve their ultimate goal. If you saw my review for Season 1, you will know that I absolutely loved it. And I still do. Season 1 of Daredevil is one of my favorite seasons of television ever. Season 2 is probably the weakest season out of this entire series, but that doesn't mean that it isn't still fantastic. Despite some of its shortcomings, Season 2 of Daredevil is still a really well put together show with a very interesting story, interesting set of characters, and all around, again, some of the best action you could find on television and in the MCU. The action here is even better than the first season and goes so hard and raw and violent, especially with the character of the Punisher played by Jon Bernthal, who in my opinion is the ultimate best Punisher performer in live action that I've seen so far, and I cannot think of anyone who's going to be able to top him once he takes off the logo and just hangs up the trench coat. Like, Jon Bernthal as the Punisher is up there with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Heath Ledger as the Joker. Like, he's in those ranks, in my opinion, of actors who just embodies the character. You feel this raw anger and this madness inside his head that makes him believe that killing every single one of these terrible criminals that have done terrible things to so many people, why he would feel like he needs to ultimately take him out. And it's this conflict with him against Daredevil's ideology that even the worst of these people can in some ways be redeemed. That what made this season so intriguing to watch. The rooftop scene with these two characters just having a conversation and arguing about their ideologies and what they feel like is going to be best for the city is one of my favorite scenes out of anything in the entire series. Like, Daredevil Season 2 may be the weakest overall season, but in my opinion, the first 4 episodes have some of the best moments that this season has to offer. It's not just this, but the intense one-take fight in the staircase with Daredevil and the Punisher going up against a whole bunch of bad guys. The graveyard scene where the two are finally able to level down and actually express their inner demons towards each other and finally come to a bit of an understanding and progression. Just one of my favorite endings to an episode. Then we transition to the Elektra subplot and this whole ninja war that's going to come to Hell's Kitchen being led by the Hand. And while I do like this setup for the Defenders and how this is going to eventually lead to an even bigger war that Daredevil is going to be a part of, the Elektra stuff and her characterization and what her relationship is to Matt Murdock, I felt like was underdeveloped and not all that well explored. or even that interesting. Like, I was more interested in what's going on with the Punisher, why Karen is doing her best to try and defend him despite all that he has done, and how these two characters are starting to form some sort of connection. That was all interesting. And seeing Foggy Nelson trying to figure out how to be able to take this case, all while knowing that Matt Murdock is Daredevil and is trying his best to try and defend his best friend while trying to be level-headed with him at the same time. It is all interesting stuff. But Elektra, in her will they won't they relationship with Matt Murdock, and how she is trying to go up against the Hand with Matt Murdock, it's just all that stuff just felt like it was trying to set up Daredevil in the Defenders and the Hand in the Defenders, and it just wasn't all that well planned out. It just felt like a lot of setup for something down the line, and it is probably my least favorite aspect of this season. But the action still that comes with that is still really exciting to watch. The overall cinematography and look of the show is once again fantastic. The production design and the way these scenes are shot, the action is shot just absolutely incredible, and I love the way this show still looks. And it is grimy, it is gritty, it is dirty, and even bloodier than before when you have a character like the Punisher. And again, I can't stress enough, Frank Castle, played by Jon Bernthal, is incredible. And despite the absence of Kingpin here, who does make a brief appearance in one of the later episodes, he's still sorely missed all throughout this season. I can't help but wonder what the season will be like if he was included even more than he is. And all in all, I just missed Wilson Fisk's presence in this season. But all in all, despite this show's faults in the second season, I still loved watching Daredevil Season 2. The action is great, the characters are intriguing, I love the relationship that's starting to form between both Karen and Frank Castle, and how they start to come to an understanding of each other and their past. Seeing Matt Murdock and Frank have a ethical and philosophical argument with each other on a rooftop is just what television is made for. The dialogue here is fantastic, and the performances just sell this dialogue and this conflict that these two characters have with one another. And just Punisher was like the best thing to come out of this entire second season. And despite me having some flaws with it, as I said, I still love it. And for that, I'm going to give Daredevil Season 2 an A-. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.